The Build Measure Learn Loop (BML) is the heartbeat of the Lane startup. Build, create the smallest thing that lets you test a core assumption. Think of it like a chef preparing a tiny spoonful of soup to see if the flavor works, rather than cooking a whole pot. Measure, collect data on how real users react. Use simple actionable metrics, for example sign-up rate, click-through, instead of vanity numbers like total page views. Learn, compare the data against your hypothesis. If the soup tasted good, you keep adding ingredients. If not, you change the recipe. The loop repeats quickly, allowing you to converge on a product that customers truly want while wasting minimal resources. An MVP is the cheapest version of a product that still lets you test a hypothesis. Common MVP types include landing page MVP, a one-page website that describes the future product and captures email interest example Dropbox's early landing page. Concierge MVP, you manually deliver the service to a few users to learn their needs example Zappos, started by buying shoes from local stores and shipping them yourself. Wizard of Oz MVP, the user thinks they are using a fully automated system, but behind the scenes, a human does the work example early chat bots. Single feature MVP, release only the core feature that solves the primary pain point example Instagram, launched with just photo filters. Design tip, keep the MVP focused on one learning goal. Metric selection, choose North Star metrics that reflect the hypothesis. For a subscription MVP, the key metric might be conversion rate equals sign-ups divided by visitors. For an on-demand service, order completion rate equals completed orders divided by placed orders. Validated learning turns guesswork into scientific inquiry. Form a hypothesis. Write it as an if-then statement. For example, if we lower the price to $9, then the conversion rate will increase by at least 5%. Define metrics. Identify the dependent variable conversion rate and the independent variable price. Run an experiment. Use a /B testing. Group A sees $12, Group B sees $9. Statistical testing. Compute the sample means X bar sub A and X bar sub B. Use a two-sample t-test. T equals open parenthesis X bar sub B minus X bar sub, a close parenthesis, divided by the square root of open parenthesis S sub, a squared over N sub A plus S sub B squared over N sub B close parenthesis, where S are sample standard deviations and N are sample sizes. Decision rule, if the p-value is less than 0.05, reject the null hypothesis no difference and accept the alternative price matters. Learn, update your business model based on the result. This disciplined approach prevents confirmation bias and ensures every iteration is data-driven. Innovation accounting provides a scoreboard for early-stage ventures when traditional financial statements are meaningless. Activation rate % of users who complete a core action, for example, first upload. Retention cohort rate % of users that return after K days. Cohort analysis groups users by sign-up week and tracks each group over time, revealing true stickiness. Example table. Cohort week, day 1, day 7, day 30. 1st of January, 100%, 40%, 20%. 8th of January, 100%, 45%, 22%. Churn rate 1 minus retention. Lifetime value LTV equals ARPU times 1 divided by churn, where ARPU is average revenue per user. Customer acquisition cost CAC equals total marketing spend divided by new customers. ROI equals incremental revenue minus incremental cost, divided by incremental cost times 100%. These numbers let founders decide whether to scale or pivot, and they give investors a credible story before profits appear. The pivot versus persevere decision is a structured checkpoint. Start with a decision dashboard containing growth metric, for example, weekly active users, threshold, greater than or equal to 10% week-over-week growth for 3 consecutive weeks. Retention metric, cohort week 4 retention, threshold, greater than or equal to 25%. Unit economics LTV divided by CAC, threshold, greater than or equal to 3. If all 3 thresholds are met, persevere, double down on the current direction. If any metric falls below its threshold for 2 consecutive measurement periods, consider a pivot, change in product, market, or revenue model. The quantitative rule prevents emotional bias-driven decisions and makes the pivot a data-backed strategic move. The business model canvas, BMC, and lean startup complement each other. Align each BMC block with lean activities. Customer segments identified during customer development, problem discovery. Value proposition expressed as the hypothesis tested in the MVP. Channels experimented within the build step, for example, landing page ads. Customer relationships measured via activation retention metrics. Revenue streams validated through pricing experiments in the measure phase. Key resources and activities kept minimal in early loops, expanded only after validated learning. Key partnerships can be tested early, for example, concierge MVP with a partner supplier. Cost structure tracked through innovation accounting. By iterating on the BMC after each build, measure, learn loop, the startup continuously refines its entire business model, not just the product. Customer development is a four-step journey to achieve problem solution fit before scaling. Customer discovery, interview potential users to uncover real pains. Use the 5 why technique to dig deep, for example, why is scheduling hard? Because my calendar is fragmented, and so on. Customer validation, test whether a proposed solution solves the identified problem. Build a solution-focused MVP and measure the problem solution fit score, equals users who say the product solves their problem divided by total test users times 100. Aim for greater than or equal to 70%. Customer creation, once fit is proven, develop demand generation tactics such as marketing and sales. Company building, transition to scaling operations and organizational design. The key is to stop building product until the problem is confirmed, preventing waste on solutions no one needs. Funding for lean startups follows the same build, measure, learn rhythm. Bootstrap - founders use personal savings. Metrics-driven spending keeps burn low. Friends and family / angel - provide early capital in exchange for equity or safe notes. Angels often look for clear milestones, for example, 1,000 paying users. Seed VC - expects a validated business model with traction metrics, growth, retention, LTV greater than 3 times. C use a stage gate pitch deck that shows hypothesis, MVP results, and innovation accounting data. Safe / convertible note - simplifies early deals. The conversion price is tied to a future priced round. Milestone-based funding - negotiate tranches released when specific metrics are hit. For example, month 3 MAU greater than or equal to 5,000. Maintaining transparent dashboards of BML results builds investor trust and reduces dilution. Q1, define the build, measure, learn loop, and give a real-world example of each step for a new mobile gaming app. Q2, an MVP test shows a conversion rate of 3% at $10 price and 4.5% at $7 price. Using a 2-sample proportion test, alpha equals 0.05, should the startup lower the price? Show calculations. Q3, list 3 key metrics used in innovation accounting and explain how cohort analysis can reveal hidden churn. Q4, a startup's weekly active users grew 8% for 2 weeks, then dropped 3%. Its LTV/CAC ratio is 2.5. Using the pivot persevere thresholds presented earlier, what decision should be made? Case study: QuickBite launched a concierge MVP for on-demand lunch deliveries in a corporate park. After 30 days, they collected data. 150 trial users, 45 repeat orders, average order value $12, marketing spend $1,500. Task: calculate CAC, LTV, and ROI. Decide whether QuickBite should persevere, pivot to a subscription model, or seek seed funding. Answer: sketch: CAC equals $1,500 divided by 150 equals $10. LTV equals $12 times open parenthesis 45 divided by 150 close parenthesis equals $3.6, assuming repeat orders reflect lifetime. ROI equals open parenthesis revenue minus cost close parenthesis divided by cost equals open parenthesis $12 times 45 minus $1,500 close parenthesis. divided by $1,500 equals open parenthesis, 540 minus 1,500 close parenthesis, divided by $1,500 equals negative 64%. Since LTV is less than CAC and ROI is negative, the startup should pivot, e.g. change pricing or target market before seeking additional funding.